Aiy-yu-kwee, Melita, and welcome to my channel, The Midnight Librarian. And today I will be talking about my Hocus Pocus Readathon TBR. So the Hocus Pocus Readathon I was introduced to from watching Sam on Thoughts on Tomes TBR for October. She's participating as well. When she said it, I was like, yes, I need to do this, even though I had already filmed my October TBR. I scrapped that, and this is what I'm doing now. So unfortunately, as much as I said that I really wanted to just continue on with Bookopoly for my TBR game for TBRs, yeah, that's not gonna happen. I am finding that as much as I got enjoyment from doing the TBR in Bookopoly, 8 books is a little much, and I don't like not having that much control. It is something I would like to do again. It was very much fun. I definitely like the thought of being able to latch on to readathons as they come up to be able to help choose my TBR for the month. And for this month, it's the Hocus Pocus Readathon. So the Hocus Pocus Readathon, like I said, it goes all month from October 1st to October 31st and is hosted by Alyssa from Pages and Ink and Tiffy from Werewolfius. I will leave both of their links in the description down below, as well as the Hocus Pocus Readathon Twitter page. This readathon has 3 teams: the Sanderson sisters, the Undead, and the Trick-or-Treaters. Each team has their own set of prompts and their own group book that earns them points. When you're done with reading whatever book you have for that prompt, you earn your team points. Whoever has the most points at the end of the month wins. I did something similar in the summer for Totally Spies-a-thon and failed at it. I think this is set up a little differently, but I hope to, because of how excited I am. Not that I wasn't excited for Totally Spies-a-thon, but I'm hoping that I will get the hang of this one a bit better so I can help my team win. I chose the team Undead. Now, I did really want to be Team Sanderson sister. However, because I pretty much already had what I wanted to read for October, I was trying to just fit those books into the prompts, and none of the Sanderson sister prompts fit for my TBR. So the Undead prompts did work for me. So I'm hoping that'll help. So for the group book for the Undead, it is The Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. However, Alyssa and Tiffy have been great in the fact that they are aware that new books are hard to get at the moment because of USPS, also just the pandemic. You don't strictly have to read the group book. You can replace it with something similar that you have, or in the instance of the Cemetery Boys, or for the Undead team, they picked a backlist book as the alternative, and that is The Bone Witch by Bryn Chapico. So as much as I do want to read The Cemetery Boys, it has been a most anticipated release for me this year. I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet. I would love to during the month of October, but I can't promise that. So this is a backlist book. I happen to have it. It is a gorgeous cover. Absolutely love it. And from what I understand, this has to do with necromancy. That's all I'm aware. I do hope that I love this series, because the rest of the books are just as gorgeous as this one, and would love to get my hands on them. But again, I will only do so if I enjoy this book. So another part of the teams is strengths and weaknesses. Strengths are something to benefit us, and weaknesses are just kind of a challenge thrown at us that we have to take into consideration for the month. So for Team Undead, our strength is we become Emily, we're a ghost. We become stealthy and no one can see us. Double up on any one prompt. And our weakness is Billy has to get to his grave within 24 hours, have a 24 readathon within the month of October. So with those in mind, let's get into the prompts. So the first prompt for Team Undead is Binks. Read a book that has an element of family. For prompt 2 is Billy. Read a book with a morally gray character. And for prompt 3 is Emily. Read a book about ghosts or paranormal. With the consideration of our strength of doubling up on a prompt, how I always understood that was to be able to take 2 prompts and put it to 1 book. However, when watching Sam's TBR for this readathon, she picked 1 book per prompt, and then for the double up added another book to one of the prompts, so she would have 2 for one of the prompts. From the way that Alyssa and Diffie have phrased it, to double up on any 1 prompt of your choosing, that's, I think, the way that we're going with this. I have asked to clarify just to be sure. We'll see how that goes. So for the first prompt, Binks, to read about family, this I'm going to be reading a book that I meant to read in September, and I totally spaced on it and just didn't even think about putting it into any of my Bookopoly prompts. But it was the Spooky Bitches Book Club pick for September, and it is Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, who is also Shelley Maguire. And this book is this is going to scare me. I know it is. This book is about the Marianas Trench, deep ocean horror, which freaks me out anyway. I believe it's about killer mermaids, but it follows a researcher. She is on a ship, a research ship, going to the Marianas Trench after another ship months earlier had completely disappeared. This first ship went to make a mockumentary, just straight up disappeared. Everyone on board is just gone. The researcher, her sister was on that first ship, and she wants to know what happened to her sister. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm freaked out. So, we'll see how this goes. I think Binks is gonna be the prompt that I double up on. So the next book I'm reading for that prompt is going to be Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I've been in the middle of her other book, of Gods of Jade and Shadow. Yeah, Gods of Jade and Shadow for a while now. I started reading it during the middle of summer and just had other priorities. It's not that I put it down because I wasn't enjoying it. It's just I had other books that I felt like I had to read. So I do hope to finish that at some point. But this is also one of her books that came out this year that I've also really wanted to start reading. This book follows Naomi as she is an unlikely rescuer to her cousin, who I feel like is living with some not nice people. So that's all I know about it. That's all I want to know about it going in. For the prompt Billy, to read a book with morally great characters, I wanted to fit this into a prompt. It was really hard to figure out which one. So this could fit into the Binks prompts, and had it been that it was 2 prompts for 1 book, I would have combined the Binks prompt with this Billy prompt. Anyway, this is what I'm choosing for the Billy prompt, and it is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. Yes, this was on my September TBR. No, I obviously didn't get to it. But I still really want to read it. This is another one that I feel like is going to freak me out, but I'm still excited to read it. This is about 4 Blackfeet men who go hunting on a land that they're not supposed to be hunting on, and years later they are finding that they're the ones being hunted. And then for the Emily prompt, read a book about ghosts or paranormal. I actually have 2 books picked out for this. Only one I think will count for the readathon, but we'll see if I'm able to get to it. The first one is Layer of Dreams by Liva Bray. I am currently reading The Diviners, and Layer of Dreams is the second book of the Diviner series. I'm sure that everyone pretty much knows what the Diviners are about now. This has been like a booktube baby for a while, but it follows these group of young adults 17-year-olds, I believe, who have these fantastical abilities. I think Aiy-yu-kwee is able to hold on to something and see that thing's history. Someone else was able to heal. There's definitely fantastical elements, but this is a story based in the 1920s. I've been enjoying the lingo, and I feel like I could move on to the second one if it's available in my library. That may be an audiobook I'm listening to. However, I do still have 2 audiobooks on hold, so we'll see if I am able to get to it. If I am, that will definitely count. If not, I will be picking up A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. This is another one that could have been, if it was 2 prompts per 1 book, this could have been for Binks and Emily, because this is a book about a family who can see monsters, and all of them deal with it differently. And then for the weakness, Billy has to be in his grave within 24 hours. We have a 24-hour readathon, so I do hope to at some point film a 24-hour readathon to show you guys. Maybe it'll be in the middle of the month to kind of break up my reading. So as if those books weren't ambitious enough, I did see that Alyssa and Tiffy said that if you do have time, so once you finish the prompts for your team, you're done. That's it. However, if you do have time, you can read the prompts from another team's challenge. So if I have time, I will be reading from the Sanderson sisters prompt Mary to read a book with an evil character, and for that I will be reading Find Me by Anne Fraser. This book follows a convicted serial killer who is offering up the location of some of his victims' graves. However, he won't do it unless a specific FBI profiler comes with them, who happens to be his estranged daughter. So yeah, this is one that I have been wanting to get to. I've been wanting to read it in October. I'm hoping I can get to it. Another Sanderson sister prompt, I will be reading Winifred, read a book that about witches. I don't know if this book entirely is about witches, now that I'm thinking of it. Someone let me know. Otherwise, When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. This is about a group of friends who practice magic together, and I think they end up killing someone. Yep. A boy ends up dead, and they're trying to fix it. So I don't know if this is necessarily about witches or just a group of friends who happen to be doing magic. This isn't too high of a priority for me. Like I said, this is basically just if I have time. It seems like a lot, I feel like. There you have it. There is my TBR for the Hocus Pocus Readathon. It's not too bad, but they're all still relatively big, plus maybe Lair of Dreams if I have time, but that may replace this one. We'll see. I guess we'll add these 2 on there. So yeah, that's probably a lot more than I'll be able to get to, but thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed me, if you want to see more of my content, please be sure to subscribe and click the little bell icon to get notifications when I post more content. If you want to chat with me about books, if you've read any of the things that I hope to read in October, let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. Please no spoilers. Otherwise, I am on other social media if you would like to get a hold of me any other way. Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter. Yeah, otherwise I have updated links for fighting social injustice. Breonna Taylor did not get justice. Her neighbor's walls did. Indigenous tribe of Nova Scotia, who currently are not getting any justice from the government, as their white neighbors as well as companies are blockading and denying their rights to fish in their own waters and on their own land, which is completely freaking ridiculous. If you're saying that you're going to move to Canada if Trump wins, then I feel like you're obligated to pay attention to what's happening in Canada with the Indigenous people. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. The Kumeyaay people in Texas who are currently fighting the border wall. as even though the border wall was denied by Congress, they are continuing construction on the border wall, and the Kumeyaay people have their territory lies over the boundary of the United States-Mexico border, which the United States shouldn't have any rights going through that territory. However, they are, and people are being arrested. Bureau of Land Management are arresting people and denying the Kumeyaay people their rights. So all the links and information for that will be down in the description below, as well as links and education to the fires that are currently happening on the west coast here. All that information down in the description below. I know it's a lot, but the more you know. Educate yourselves. I hope that you are being safe. I hope that you are wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart, washing your hands, and staying home. And I hope that you are in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading. I'll see you next time. Chew.